GameSpot presents the Hotspot. It is Wednesday, October 26th. Wait a minute. This is my show now! This is my show now! How dare you try to take control?
The soap opera caliber acting from Tom Magrino.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Very impressive. You could be a daytime Emmy winner.
How are you doing?
Good, better than you apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brendan Sinclair.
That was not the best high concept intro I've ever seen.
See, I have the ideas, and then the actual execution is something to be
Poor execution, poor ideas.
Yeah. Oh, poor ideas.
Wow.
That was me. Kevin Van Ord, please save me.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. My ears are still ringing.
From the intro. I understand. So what I just noticed when I was on looking at yesterday's episode is I'm wearing the exact same shirt as last week. I don't know how
that shirt, let me guess, 75 cents?
I told you. It's
tell
75
me.
cents.
I was just eavesdropping.
75 cents on Valencia and 15th.
There you go.
Well, you just felt like some dude like had a trench coat and he's like, "Hey dude, I got
they actually do have thrift stores in.
I was at that thrift store. I bought a jacket there.
It's clear it's that shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
nice.
we have a show for you today. First of all, a few mea culpas, iTunes. Oh, I still have.
Yeah, I'm getting like the cable caught on the chair. And you got footage of me unraveling it.
I sometimes forget.
Yeah.
So mea culpas. We're not on iTunes yet. We're working on getting onto iTunes.
Man, I remember when I did this podcast, we were always on iTunes.
You had iTunes down. No, see, I'm gonna blame Lark for this because apparently.
Lark Anderson.
Lark Anderson, right?
Wow.
Way to clarify.
If you're pointing fingers, point both fingers.
Point them at Lark.
Yeah.
Point both fingers and not these fingers. Different fingers. Is that no good? Anyway, so basically the process to getting us on iTunes is we have to take all the old episodes that this guy recorded and put them onto a new iTunes feed. And then at some point, once that's done, which will take a matter of days.
This is really boring.
No,
Come on,
people are asking. I need to let them know.
There's a process.
In a matter of days, it takes, and they just basically need somebody to do it. But we're working on it. I promise you. Hey, look at me. We're gonna make it happen.
It'll be done.
Clearly, Magrino is struggling with the whole concept of this also being audio only for a lot of people.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty much doing it right.
Okay.
I don't know. So that's the first mea culpa. Also, a second mea culpa. I completely forgot to give a shout out to Ken Moons, Der Spudmeister last week. He is the man behind our totally awesome rockin' new intro theme music. Also, Matt Gravish made that awesome, totally rockin' video intro. So good work, guys. Fine work all around. Anyway, we're gonna get to what we're actually here for, and that is that's Uncharted 3.
That's what we all gathered here for?
Yeah. You may have thought that Battlefield 3 would be our topic for the show this week, but actually we're giving Battlefield 3 its own kind of blowout on Friday. We're gonna have a Hotspot live from the studio downstairs. Some of these guys might be here. I don't know who. But we're gonna do a cool little show for you guys, all about Battlefield 3, and it will mark the return of live calls. So we're gonna do live calls on the air.
Such a bad idea.
Such a bad idea.
Live calls plus video. Hey,
yeah.
That's not asking for any problems.
Well, we're gonna turn the camera off so that we don't get any wang on GameSpot.
There's entirely too much wang on this show as it is.
Yeah, there's a good amount of wang. But no, so that's going to happen on Friday. If you would like to participate in that, we're going to be recording at 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can use the Skype number that you know and love. We're on GameSpot Hotspot. Or give us a call 415-644-5065. You can do it that way. Whatever. I've spent like 5 minutes in this introduction. We're going to get to Uncharted 3. And that game's not out yet, is it, McShay? No.
You came prepared.
Yeah, I did. I knew
Nice.
one thing that was happening this week.
Okay.
So Uncharted 3 is out next week. You have already reviewed it.
I've played that game.
You played the hell
and
out of that
I wrote
game.
some words.
So why did they launch this game why did they launch the review with Battlefield 3 coming out? That was weird, right?
You can't get me with these gotcha questions. I'm not prepared for that. I have no idea. It's a better game, I guess. I mean, 9 is higher than 8.5, so there you go.
Do we have
Crunch
a
the
review up
numbers.
yet? I don't even know.
Yeah, we have a review of both games
Oh,
up on the site.
That makes sense.
So I don't know. I mean, if things are good in the world, it'll outsell Battlefield, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
But so you like this game 9.0, not as good as 9.5 or 9.5 Uncharted 2.
Is
that fair to say?
This is a number that is true.
No.
It is a lower number.
Okay.
I actually think that the campaign is a step back, but it's like you're going from ridiculously high to super high. I don't know. Those adjectives are comparable, right?
Ridiculously high. To
Uncharted
super high.
2 is just, I mean, it won every game of the year except for ours, basically, because it's, I mean, it is a brilliant game. It's hard to match that. This gets close. It's not quite there, but it's still super, super awesome.
You're gonna have to give me a little bit more than super awesome.
Oh, do you want to talk about something specific? Well, I think that the combat is as good or better than any gun combat you will find in any game, period. Except for Vanquish. That's my one exception. Because it's huge level design. We can climb around, or you can shoot, or you can go into cover, or you can snap necks. I love the versatility, so I love it. But we're not really going to focus on that, because it's just you and me talking if we do that.
That's true. So one of the things that this game does differently, perhaps, is the cinematic design. You have, combat intercut with cutscenes. Not really cutscenes, interactive. What are they? Tell me what
it's
you would
like
describe
roughly
them as.
half of okay, so the combat is as free as you're going to find. It has more options than just about any shooter out there. The other half of the game is as structured as anything you'll find. It's huge contrast, because it's like the platform. You can only jump when there's a handhold present, and you can only jump to that handhold. The puzzles have to be done a certain way, and then there's cutscenes, and there's set piece things where you have to move in a certain way or you die. And I think it's interesting that, I mean, it goes against what makes a game a game. It takes away your control and punishes you if you have any kind of creativity. So I guess I wanted to talk about, like, is that good? Is that ultimately good? And why does it seem to work in Uncharted, at least for me, and other games it fails?
Well, it works because they're taking away some of the interactivity, basically, by saying, okay, well, when you platform now, there's no more dead ends. You're not going to do a bunch of platforming and realize you have to backtrack and then figure out where else you're going to go. It's usually like a pretty, I jumped from that ledge to this handhold.
Is that a thing in
Shimmy
games
along here.
with platformers where you have a dead end? Usually the challenge of platformers is how do I make the jump from here to there? And
Right.
that's where the challenge lies. This strips away any of that. So it's when you jump in Mario, you might miss.
Right.
When you
Not
jump in
in
this,
this.
you don't miss.
Okay.
You're always going to make it. And the game actually cheats sometimes.
To make those really long jumps actually possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, basically, like, you're supposed to jump from here, but if I jump slightly further back, it's like, well, it's close enough. And then Nathan Jake, it's like, Spider-Man.
So the more they dial back the interactivity and the ability of the player to fail, the more authorial control they have over your experience, the more they can keep things moving along at the pace that they want and make it feel more like that roller coaster ride kind of blockbuster experience.
I mean, wouldn't you say in general that a lot of developers, more so than ever, are more interested in giving people a movie experience than a game experience in a lot of ways? Because we've talked about this
Absolutely.
in context, not just of Uncharted, but Call of Duty, and I can name a whole bunch of things. And that was one of the reasons, actually, why I was very disappointed with this last E3, is that it was just more and more games showing me things that I would see in a movie, but things that I wouldn't see in a game. And that's why you get
The Tomb
turret
Raider
sequences.
reboot.
And turret sequences, and even in Mass Effect and stuff like this. This is the way of the developer of taking control and making sure that everything that you see and experience is in their hands and not in yours.
Well, I guess
It's
my question is...
Well, hold on. It's like the set piece design, right? Like Modern Warfare 4, I feel like really got that.
just made up the game. Awesome.
What?
I love
Call
it.
of Duty 4,
Call
Modern
of Duty
Warfare.
4, Modern Warfare. You guys know what I'm talking
I know,
about.
but I just like mocking
like-
that franchise.
When that game came out, it seemed like a lot more studios were focusing on those big set piece moments.
And then they became really popular.
Yeah.
And so that's what everybody wants to do. And here's something that's really interesting is like we've had this whole Battlefield 3 versus Call of Duty thing, right? Not necessarily here just at GameSpot, but everywhere people have been talking about the dichotomy, right? And then Battlefield 3's campaign goes and does exactly what Call of Duty does, but doesn't do it as well. And a lot of people are trashing that campaign, actually.
Yeah.
That I've seen.
Well,
so
I mean, it's a shooter campaign. This is what you expect from shooter campaigns.
Not necessarily. I think that's.
I would say
that's
my
silly.
expectations are raised now because of Uncharted. And if you don't match Uncharted and Vanquish, then you will be ripped.
But what-
because they're brilliant with what they do.
I mean, but it does show you, like, I haven't played the campaign of Battlefield 3 yet, but I played Homefront. I see a lot of comparisons between Battlefield 3's campaign and Homefront's campaign, which I thought was just, I hated Homefront's campaign. So I'm not really looking forward to this campaign if it's just more of that. But it does, I mean, to get in Modern Warfare's camp for just a moment, like, when I was playing Black Ops, I had a spectacular time while I was playing it. When I was done, I really didn't have that, it didn't last. But when I was playing it, I really had a great time. And it reminds me, like, when you play something that tries to be that and doesn't succeed, you actually can start to appreciate more what Modern Warfare does, and that what it does, it still does better than any other game that tries to do the exact same thing.
We went from talking about Uncharted to praising Call of Duty. We gotta stop that.
I'm not-
Okay, so
Yeah.
But shush.
Take us in a different direction.
I generally
Shush.
despise when games strip away control. I mean, one of the reasons that the Call of Duty is lame for me is it's a corridor shooter with really bad AI and no choice in how you do combat. So I think it's just lame because it's set piece and only set piece. The reason why I love Uncharted, and I love Uncharted games because they're phenomenal, is you have the combat contrasting with the scripted stuff. So half of the game is wide open, and I can do it like a million different ways. So when I go to do the platforming stuff, it's like it's cinematic break, I guess, from like the real action. So I guess that's why I can forgive it for what it does.
Yeah.
It manages to be fun because it's just a part of the game.
And
Well,
the-
there's contrast.
the
And that
cinematic-
has a big part of it. Sorry.
No, I was
didn't
just going to say the cinematic, it seems like from Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 3, there's more cinematic element. Is that true? No?
It's about the same.
It's about the same?
Very similar game to Uncharted 2.
Okay. I don't know. I guess when I was playing Uncharted 2, the first, I didn't really actually get that far in that game. I found it boring.
Oh,
Is that
lordy.
even, is that
well,
a
that's
thing that I
silly.
can say?
You can definitely say that. That's fine.
I mean, I just found it very derivative, and I found it
Derivative of what?
derivative of the Indiana Jones adventure.
So it's derivative of movies, but
And then
not.
Tomb Raider, and
It doesn't feel anything like Tomb Raider. I'm sorry.
It's basically
It
the same
looks to Tomb
concept.
Raider, though. I
Yeah,
think
it
they know
Yes.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And it has cover, so it also feels like yours.
Right,
It has graphics, so it's like Frogger.
and or Doom. That's
So-
the thing that happened.
This is the thing with these games is that you can either
What are these games?
games today, let's say,
Okay.
you focus on narrative or you focus on gameplay. And a lot of these kind of blockbuster set piece driven games, they focus on narrative. But the problem is if that narrative doesn't hook someone in, and for me they very, very rarely do because it's, these are dumb action movies generally.
Just watching
the
some of
quality
the-
of stories that we get.
Yeah, just watching some of the Uncharted 3 that you were playing, a lot of the dialogue was pretty campy.
Yeah.
Pretty.
It was deliciously campy, though.
So
Yeah.
it can
It's
be
the good kind, though.
It can be well executed,
I agree
but
with that.
it's still ultimately disposable entertainment.
Yeah.
And they're sacrificing gameplay for the sake of this disposable entertainment, which can make for a really fun 9-hour adventure or whatever. But when it's done, there's nothing really lasting about that. And you look to the gameplay then, and it's like, okay, well, the gameplay is, pretty rote. It's not doing a whole lot of super interesting things, which is why something like Catherine, where you can look at that and say so much of that is cutscenes and not heavily interactive stuff, because so much of the game happens outside that actual puzzle gameplay. But what it's doing with the narrative is so much more interesting that a game like that is going to hook me and keep me in. But something like Uncharted 3, I'm sure it's a fantastic game. I have no interest in really playing it because I got limited time, and this is going to
Well,
be a 10-hour, roller coaster ride.
Isn't one of the strikes against it for you that it's just very similar to 2?
Yeah.
Like if you're choosing between Batman, which opened up this, it's an open world game as opposed to the first, and you can like fly basically.
Right. So
It's a big difference.
Arkham City is interesting for me on a
Yeah.
on a gameplay level because I liked I really liked Arkham Asylum, and now they're going to add a new wrinkle to that,
Yeah.
and I want to see how that turns
So
out.
it isn't necessarily that Uncharted is too restrictive for you, it's just that it hasn't evolved much from 3 to 2.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't play 2, it'd be like you'd be jumping all over this because this game is ridiculous and there's nothing else like it.
Right, but
Okay.
I've seen these formulas, kind of the blockbuster,
Yeah.
high production value game formula done so well, the execution just done so competently so many times. I need something more than that to really interest me and hook me now.
But I think there are ways too, like when I think of Uncharted and the stuff you're saying, I think, well, and this is fresh on my mind because I finished Assassin's Creed Revelation
Whoa.
this weekend. I'm allowed to say that, I think.
Okay. Well, you
But,
did.
yeah,
Apparently,
I
the
did.
game can be finished. Embargo broken.
Oh,
Oh,
can we
wow.
can we indicate?
I think
at all
we can
how
say
good
that.
It is?
No, I'm not going to talk about its quality, but I want to talk about in general that Assassin's Creed, in some ways, like kind of does the whole, it has linear storytelling when you go through just the story missions or GTA or anything like that, but there's a lot of openness to how the gameplay works. And certainly the platforming in Assassin's Creed is kind of the absolute opposite of platforming in Uncharted. And so I feel like I have control over all of my movement all of the time, and it's wholly consistent every time, as opposed to, oh, I can jump this huge leap that I can't jump other times because the game wants me to make that leap.
The way you play through it is going to be different from the way Tom or I or...
Well, I mean, as soon as I finished Uncharted 3, I actually started up again on hard, and I kind of had to get through the set PC type stuff, but I wanted to play it again because the combat is just exquisite, and I wanted to play it again. So it isn't just restricted to, just I don't want to go through this blockbuster ride again, like you were saying. Like, it is actually, the gameplay is good enough to stand on its own.
I know we got limited time, but I'm wondering if we can approach real quickly there's some flag over, for example, your Eurogamer's review of Uncharted 3. And it's kind of interesting too to talk about this stuff on the whole, I think, about reviewers and reviews and our audiences and things like that, where and the same thing happened with Gears 3, where, say, for example, something's in the 8 range and everybody has a freaking heart attack over it.
Right.
And, what's interesting is Eurogamer's review is effing brilliant. It's a really good read, extremely well argued. The language is fantastic. And I would much rather read a review that does not agree with the critical mass and has very good reasons for not, than reading just another cookie cutter review that reads exactly like every single other review and is showering endless praise without critical evaluation.
I mean, I feel like what's happening there is the knee-jerk reaction of, oh, you just gave it a low score so that you get all the clicks and whatever. I mean, that's probably what people are responding to there, right?
Which is silly. I mean, none of us really, I mean, maybe
like,
somebody does, but
who
do we really think does that? I mean, when we write reviews, we write what we think.
Right.
I'm not interested in our goal is not to, to have the greatest number of people agree with what we have to say.
Yeah, well, my job is to evaluate a game, and I don't really care about the other stuff. It's people above me have to worry about ads and all. I don't care. I don't even get talked to about that.
Right.
I mean, it's always really strange to me because we've reached a point, and we've discussed this a million times, and I think it's worth discussing in the amongst all reviewers, like this whole idea that and we've talked about this, like, where a AAA game has, like, people want it to get a 9 or a 10, and have we gotten to the point where people are just saying this stuff because that's what the audience expects, because we're just afraid of...
Well, if you disagree with a review, it doesn't matter what review it is, you can find a reason to discount it,
Sure.
There's the, this review is higher than I thought it should be. They're being paid off by the publisher. This review's lower than I thought it should be. They're just
paid off by another publisher. I love the idea that somebody would be paying us to give a game from somebody else a lower score. Like, when the conspiracy theories get so deep, deep and weird, and in the end, I think people just think of the value of a review to them is, did we tell them what they wanted to hear? And if we did not do that, then we have somehow failed them. But what they don't know, what they should know, I should say, is that we can't tell 100% of the people 100% of what they wanted to hear.
No.
That's impossible because they're all different human beings.
Right.
I'd much rather read a review that just gives me something to think about, even if it's something that ultimately I think is a total load of horse pucky.
Horse pucky? You can actually say,
pucky.
You can say horse shit now, because I have the ability to edit. Last time I didn't.
Oh.
So if you want,
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
go for it. No?
Oh, I didn't even know you didn't the last time. I'm just a lady when I talk.
We just didn't,
I'm
have
always
any
delicate.
complaint. It's fine. We're going to move on. Uncharted 3 is out next week, PS3. Tom McShay likes it. So if you like Tom McShay and
He even loves
you
it.
think he hasn't been bought off by Sony, then go ahead, maybe go buy it. I don't know. The choice
I
is
don't think
yours.
I've ever been accused of being bought off by Sony
Right.
before.
After that whole Ratchet and Clank fiasco.
It's the Infamous 2. People are
Oh,
like,
the
how
Infamous
dare you
2,
critically evaluate this game that I think is better than it is?
Wait, who was Ratchet? Oh, that was Aaron Thomas? Who did the Ratchet
Oh,
and
he
Clank?
Aaron
correctly
Thomas,
gave that
too.
game a 7.5,
right,
and he
right.
was right.
Tools of Destruction.
Yes.
Yeah, that was not it. That was not Ratchet and Clank's finest hour.
No,
and I
people
love Ratchet and
People
Clank.
still bring that up. Yeah, people are weird.
People like me.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, didn't we just give a Ratchet and Clank like a 7.5 or something?
We gave it a 7, but that was,
Oh,
that was
7.
a completely different type of game.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
Speaking of moving on,
I
you
don't want to talk about?
I got a flight to catch.
Oh, come on, you're gonna get there like 4 hours early.
Yeah, probably. What's the topic?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Do it quick.
Okay, fine. I'm tired of Liberty City and San Andreas and Vice City. I want a new setting. Although speculation from the logo that the Rockstar released Grand Theft Auto 5 with the V kind of having that dollar bill scrawl in the background.
Las Vegas.
I'm just assuming that it's going to be about counterfeiting, which seems like some
There
kind of
hasn't been enough counterfeiting in these games.
a bit of organized crime that they actually haven't really mined for
Right.
for every last movie trope yet.
Well, they've done what? Prostitution, murder,
Drugs.
Gang
drugs,
wars,
robberies, gang wars.
mafia style organized crime.
Yeah. So I mean, they've hit some good ones. Some of the bigger ones.
Scarface, 80s crime.
Yeah.
Gay clubs.
Coke dealers. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if they're trying to push things forward, counterfeiting seems like. I mean, it worked in that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, right?
Or maybe just
Gilbert Grape?
No.
He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know.
Catch me if you can. Tom Hanks. It was very entertaining.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Gilbert Grape.
It wasn't Gilbert.
I know Rockstar really wants to capture that young, gritty Tom Hanks feel to their
It's,
movies.
I don't know why they wouldn't. Tom Hanks is a handsome man, as is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
You need to leave.
I do. And,
Need is the wrong word.
That's true. He's literally going to be at the airport about 2.5 years old.
Get yourself a Cinnabon.
yeah, will do. But I wanted people to know that I'm still alive.
Right.
And I also wanted to say that I'll never forgive you for what you've done to my podcast.
Noted. Oh, I didn't get that wave. Do you want to wave again? It was pretty good. There we go. Okay.
Enjoy your lunch at Sabaro.
Defiled! Like your mom. We're going to move on. Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar announced Grand Theft Auto 5 this week. They did so in a very under the radar way. They Twittered it, which I guess isn't that under the radar. It was just a very surreptitious. I don't know. So they announced Grand Theft Auto 5. They launched a website. They're promising the first trailer November 2nd, which I'm excited for because I really liked Grand Theft Auto 4's trailers. In some way, I liked Grand Theft Auto 4's trailers better than I liked the game.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember any of the trailers.
The Special Someone trailer, where they show him walking through like various points in the city.
Oh, I actually do remember. The
Yeah.
background's changing. And
Yeah. They've made gifs out of that.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they
trailer.
kind of condensed all of the cool hardcore lines into the trailers, which I appreciate. And then, so we have some rumors also that, well, I guess persistent rumors. Where the persistent rumor is that it's going to be set in LA, which I find disappointing. I was really looking forward to a foreign country. I don't know. I thought it would have been if we're going to return to a city. Go back to London.
In their defense, we have not played a Rockstar open world game in LA in 4 months. Maybe 5. I don't know.
What?
LA Noir?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm not sure what LA stands for, but what the heck? I don't want LA.
No, that's a good point.
Give me
I mean,
something original. Give me Tokyo. Like that would be so cool.
That is an incredibly good point. We already went to LA. We went to LA from your own studio. Why are you taking us back to LA? That doesn't.
That
make
was
sense.
not an internal studio though, so let's be
Well,
fair. And that
yeah.
game did not play anything like GTA.
I played a little.
Well, a little bit like
I mean, it was
GTA.
Part of the
Exactly.
appeal of GTA is like I am in New York and it is beautifully realized, and I love going around it. We've
Right.
done that with
Except
LA.
it's fake New York.
Yeah,
And
but
that
we've
was the
done
same
that
thing
with
Yeah, that was the same thing with LA Noir. So
Yes.
right. The other rumor surrounding Grand Theft Auto 5 is that you will have multiple protagonists to play through. So it won't just be Nico Bellic or help me out. What are the other protagonists? CJ and what's the one that they just recently named? Claude. That's right, Claude.
Marcel.
He didn't need a name.
Is there any rumors it's going to be fun?
Oh,
I mean, I liked
No.
GTA 4,
That's
but
fair.
they stripped away almost all the fun to make it like realistic and gritty and kind of boring and repetitive.
yeah. I mean,
So that'd be a nice rumor that would come true.
I mean, oh, yeah. So, like, what do you want to see out of Grand Theft Auto 5? A, fun. Go for it. Why not? B, when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4, I only, again, that's another game I only got like 3 hours in.
Yeah.
But it was for a different reason. Like, when that game opens up, it's like, oh my God, I'm paralyzed by choice. Like, I can't focus on just something to do.
Really?
And it just frustrated me.
Because at the beginning, the first 3 hours, I probably did some of the side missions, and I was like, oh, they're all the same and not very interesting. I'm just gonna do the main missions, which are all the same but more fun at least.
So more variety in the beginning?
More fun variety.
More fun variety?
Like
Yeah.
GTA 3 was great because it was just fun to travel around and drive.
Right.
And all the other side quests were cool too, but just movement. In GTA 4, I took a cab everywhere. Like that's not good. I mean, their competition is Just Cause 2 and Saints Row 3 and like these other games are like open world and fun together. I don't think their competition is enslaved because the narrative is good in both those games. Like that's not what I see as GTA's strength.
So what is GTA's strength?
Open world hijink craziness.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
they make the atmosphere, it's incredible. That I just want to travel around that world. So just make it fun to explore and rewarding to explore.
Yeah.
GTA 4 didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to GTA 3. Like the funnest part of GTA 3 was getting 5 stars on your wanted level and then just getting a rocket launcher and blowing up helicopters.
That was not GTA 4's strength. And also, if you're gonna be a shooter,
Yeah.
you have to be as good as Uncharted. Like if you're not that level, then
Yeah.
that's bad.
No, that's something that you
Because
didn't
GTA
really,
4 was just like lock on, turn your mind off, and pull the trigger. Like that's not good.
And we've gotten that several times now. Like that was the problem with Mass Effect 2, right? Or 1 at least, where there was just like it felt like you were rolling the dice whenever you were pulling the trigger.
Well, 2's problems were level design, AI, lack of variety, and all that other stuff. But it's like if you're making a game that's a shooter like Mass Effect or GTA, like it has to be. I mean, Red Dead's shooting was really good.
That's true.
But it has to be at the highest level, or it's gonna be boring. Because I've played really high level shooters.
Yeah.
Well, and Mafia 2 kind of proved to me that you can take that kind of open world game and have really excellent shooting, that you don't have to sacrifice shooting
Oh, no.
for the open world stuff. And especially like now, I think when you have Assassin's Creed and you have other open world type games, or even stuff like The Witcher 2 and Dark Souls and whatever, like that prove that your moment to moment mechanics can be as good as any other game, but you can also have the expanse and the open world, that we no longer have to accept that, well, we compromise one thing in favor of this other thing, that you are allowed to have both. And there are enough games now that do both, where you can't just say, oh, well, it's pathetic. This part's pathetic, but that's okay, because look how big and ambitious this game is.
Yeah, I think the days of jack of all trade, master of none is gone. Like you have to reach these standards or just don't do it.
Right.
So that's what I want from GTA 5, and I think they'll deliver because they make good games.
They do make. What were we gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say I would love a different setting too. I mean, I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest GTA guy. I like open world games, but I'm kind of with Tom in certain things and not with Tom in certain other stuff. But
I don't know which Tom you're talking about. I'll assume it's me
this
because
Tom.
I'm vain.
Well, no, I like this Tom
okay.
more.
Fine, that's fair.
But I mean, in the end, I'd love to see. I mean, if we're gonna return someplace, go back to London.
No, that's what. Yeah.
Which would be really cool, or Tokyo, or something else.
You're talking about like GTA 2?
Yeah,
I think the original GTA was London.
Was that London?
Yeah.
I don't remember which one was.
Or no, it wasn't
an
London.
expansion, right?
It was the expansions for the original
Okay.
GTA. Were,
Yeah, I would love London.
Yeah.
They make cities that are. I mean, no one else can match what they do with their atmospheric design of cities. Just take me someplace that's not a stupid cesspool in Southern LA.
I don't know. It's like
Southern
it's
California.
probably also we're impacted by the fact that we are from the U.S., so we kind of find these cities more boring, maybe.
Well, we've seen them in games
Well, it's
many times.
well-trod
We've seen them. I mean,
stuff.
LA Noire just did it. San Andreas already did it. We've already seen this stuff. Give me something new.
So, I mean, another theory that it could be Washington, D.C. Does that sound more appealing to you?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well,
Fallout?
Yeah.
especially if you can cause a fallout.
Yeah. Oh, which, I don't know, being able to set off a nuclear weapon?
It'd be pretty fun.
I mean, that is actually a good point. How do you think they're going to push the envelope this time?
How
Go
do
to
they
the
push?
moon.
How do they
It's all
push
going to
it?
be futuristic.
No, I mean, I feel
How
like
fun would that be?
I feel like they're
laser
gonna
pistols
play
in the
up-
future.
I feel like they're going to play up like the terrorism element, which is a very taboo subject.
I
right
don't
now.
want them. I don't want them to do that though, because other games are already doing that.
Okay, serious question. How do they push the envelope in 4?
4?
Yeah, because it's not like they always. How do they push it in San Andreas or Vice City for that matter?
No, that's a fair point.
They don't. They're not really envelope pushers. Actually, they gave you the ability to kill hookers and drive around murdering people in GTA 1, and I don't think they've actually done anything. They
have
made it
done-
3D in 2. Oh, no, give me examples. That's all I'm saying.
They're not afraid to poke fun at pretty much anything. I mean, I thought the delights of GTA 4 were the peripheral.
Oh yeah, there's
things.
some satirical stuff that's great, but I don't know if.
And
that's...
I gotta give a hands off to something like the Ballad of Gay Tony, right?
Okay.
Because you've got this, no other developer would have called anything the Ballad of Gay Tony,
Yeah,
let
that's-
alone use that kind of subject matter where you've got this guy that owns a gay club and everything. I mean,
And he was the hero, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got this situation where if it were anybody but Rockstar, nobody would even considered it, let alone taken it, grabbed it by the cojones and turned it into something that was actually really good and that the audience would buy and enjoy.
Yeah, that's a good point. They did
So-
something with that. I don't know if they have a history of necessarily turning over tea tables, but you know,
Oh God, did you
Turning over teeth.
whatever it's
use the
called.
Nintendo? Okay,
I
that's
did
Fine.
bashing whatever they do. I mean, they let you kill hookers, and now they've introduced a gay character after it's almost an apology for the gay character in GTA
But they didn't.
4,
They
which
didn't
was
just.
so embarrassing.
Well, that the early gay character in GTA. 4
well, you
was-
didn't see the one that I.
No, I was thinking about the one where you go out on a
Yeah.
on a date. Early on.
I don't know the
didn't-
name. It's the one that like there's 3 partners or whatever, and he's one of them from back in the Russia place. But yeah, it's such an insulting portrayal. They almost needed to make an apology DLC. To
But
make
I
up
mean,
for it.
it's more than just here's a gay character. I mean, they really did flesh out a dude, and he was more than just I don't know. He was more than just a stereotype. He was actually a cool dude, cool character that was not, well, you know what I mean.
I know what
Do you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean, so I,
I don't
hope
know
you
what
do.
you mean either. Yeah, and I don't know. Like looking at these casting calls that people have been, or we got rumors. In March 2009 of this casting call for Project Rush, that people thought would be Grand Theft Auto 4, and it sounds like a lot of the characters are going to be in the same kind of GTA. Oh, sorry, Kevin. Sorry. Here you go. Was that what you wanted?
I wanted something that wasn't me. I didn't want to stare at myself.
No, that's fair. I'm not so great with the TriCaster yet. I am definitely working on it, but it's a thing. It takes time.
Wait, we can't have food and drink in here.
No, we can't have food and drink. In
I
here.
have
Steve Beecham will kill me.
I have a secret drink every episode.
Oh, the man will crucify me alive.
have a
You don't
not
know
secret
how
drink
evil
every
Steve
episode.
Beecham is. Steve Beecham is actually the nicest human
in my
being
defense,
in
that's
the planet.
that sign is like tucked away behind
All of you. Guys. All right.
Ah.
So this is documented evidence that I'm going to get in trouble. I appreciate it. Jerks. Anyway, GTA 5, that's a thing that's happening. I hope they push it forward. That would be cool if they did. Do you guys have anything else you want to say on GTA 5? See, I can get you on camera when you're giving me those like
I got nothing.
weird cat
Don't-
faces.
How
Don't be
about they-
afraid to be funny. Like when in a room with in a world with Saints Row 3 coming up, like that game is effing insane, right?
Yeah.
Or the
So-
mobility options offered by Just Cause 2 and Batman.
Yeah,
this
I mean
is-
that's
this is
gonna
your
be hard
competition,
because
Rockstar. No.
you've got. I
This
mean,
is it.
you've got an authentic world that they're trying to create. So
GTA 3 San Andreas had jetpacks.
that's true.
Your competition is
Yeah.
Batman Just Cause 2. Get it done. Also, no multiplayer, please.
No
It's
multiplayer.
gonna hurt the single player
you
experience.
think?
Yes.
GTA 4 did not seem like a lesser game because it had multiplayer in it to me.
A lot of people like that multiplayer.
It was
I-
super fun.
yeah.
Whatever.
Why would people not
Get rid of it.
like that?
I mean, it didn't take off. It didn't become
No.
Modern Warfare, but it was certainly
It's
a
a
lot of people.
checkpoint on a box.
A lot of
Just-
people enjoyed playing it.
A lot
It
of
was
people-
fun to fool around and do stupid things.
A lot of people eat Vaseline on toast. Just make it single player.
Oh God, where would they get the Vaseline? From the grocery store? They're just like, oh, I want some Vaseline.
CVS.
Did you just make that up?
It's the Simpsons
The
reference.
Simpsons
Oh.
reference. Hello. What was the reference that somebody did? Carol make a reference earlier to The Simpsons? By the way, there was something she said,
I don't know.
and now I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
I'm gonna remember it in the middle of the night, and I'll call you.
Thank you.
Alright.
I'll just wake up and it'll be in my head.
So,
Hey Tom, remember that thing?
I turn off my phone when I go to sleep. So, good luck.
Which is good because I text you at all hours.
all right, we're gonna move on. BlizzCon happened last week over the weekend. I was there. It was fun. A few announcements came out of it. We got the name for the new World of Warcraft expansion, Mists of Pandaria. So that was actually a true thing.
Sure. We got a release day for Diablo 3.
We did not actually get
Oh,
a release date for
okay.
Diablo 3. We got a update
Maybe
that
release window, right?
No, well, we knew
2012.
we knew it was early 2012. Actually, in my story, like I wrote that like on the fly. I did not do my full diligence, and Brendan didn't back me up on that, so it had an inaccuracy in it.
What was the inaccuracy?
I said it was still supposed to come out in in 2011, but they had
Yeah.
bumped it.
That happens.
Bad on me. Anyway, so I just picked my nose on camera. I don't. Damn it. Anyway, so Mists of Pandaria was the big announcement. We also had a few smaller announcements that came during the keynote address by Mike Morhaime and Chris Metzen. Most notably, WoW Annual Pass earns free copy of Diablo 3, which is pretty cool because now if you are tired of playing World of Warcraft, you have a reason to continue to re-up your subscription.
So basically, I mean, what is it? $20 a month?
No, it's like
15? 15. So if you pay whatever many dollars that is,
yeah.
so for
Well,
a
it's
whole
discounted. It's not just 15. Like if you get a whole year, it's less than
Right.
15 a month, right?
I'm not entirely sure what the full 12-month gets you, but it will get you a free copy of Diablo 3, which is not bad. It'll also get you a few other things like what? What? I'm looking at my notes.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Guaranteed slot in the World of Warcraft expansion beta, as well as a Tyrell, is that how you say it? Tyrell charger in-game mount for World of Warcraft. So that's a pretty good deal if you're into Diablo 3. If you are, like the people who are at BlizzCon who are absolutely crazy for anything Blizzard. The other big announcement was the
Did you say that people at BlizzCon are crazy for anything Blizzard?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I
think
feel
it's
like
a
that's
very,
fair.
very true assessment.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, they're playing to the masses. If you're going to BlizzCon, you love everything that is Blizzard.
I completely agree. It's a little obvious. I just thought it was funny that you said that.
Oh, well, I'm talking off the cuff here.
I know.
I don't have a
It's
script
great.
in
If
front
you
of me.
like Blizzard, you might like BlizzCon.
Right.
Or the other way around, because I don't think most people who like Blizzard want to go to that.
No?
Well, I don't want to say freak show, but I'm thinking it.
Dude, did you see the
What?
costume contest?
Compared
Yes.
to other stuff,
You
it's
did see the
positively tame.
Well, okay. So anything, the other big thing was the collector's edition for Diablo 3, which will come with in-game items for Diablo 3, WoW, StarCraft 2, as well as a 4 gigabyte USB drive shaped like a soulstone. And it's got like this little Diablo carrier case that you I did this again. This is
Yeah, I
the
know.
second week in a
Just
row.
wiggle the finger so you can get the real image.
Okay, there we go. So that's coming, and also that 4 gig hard drive comes, or flash drive comes with a copy of Diablo 2.
We had a big discussion about this in the office, which
Yeah,
was
we
weird.
did.
Because I was
Did we?
like, so they're giving
was
away
like-
a 12-year-old game for free, big whoop, and everyone's like, people are gonna play it and love this, and I was like, I don't care. 12-year-old game?
Yeah.
Do I really care? They're giving away a 12-year-old game for free?
A
I don't
lot of
know.
people, and I vehemently argued with you that a lot of people that are going to play Diablo 3 have never played the classic Diablo 2, and this is their opportunity to play a classic.
I
And
think
don't
it's
see
a
what the-
way for them to give away a bonus without it costing them a dime. It's
Huh?
12 years old. It is
I
an
feel like-
old game.
I mean, have you played Diablo 3 beta? It's
No.
basically like Diablo 2.
But now
So
they're
are
giving
you
away Diablo 2 also. I guess we should.
So are
we
you
should applaud
suggesting
them.
we shouldn't
No, they can do it. I just don't
be
think.
happy that people are going to get an opportunity for free to play a classic game?
And
That's
also,
just such a strange argument.
They can. That's fine. They can do that. I just don't. I wouldn't applaud Blizzard for giving away a 12-year-old game. It's like okay.
Well, it's not like I'm on my feet, like going woo,
Right.
woo,
Well, it's
woo.
like you pay $100 for the special edition, you get that, or I mean, Tekken did a similar thing. We got Tekken 1, 2, and 3, but it was just the normal game.
no,
Well,
I
there's
mean,
other
that's a
stuff.
misnomer because there's other stuff. That's
Yeah, I
just
know.
one
It's not
the
of
only thing
many,
you
many
get.
other things
I know.
that you get.
I laughed at this being like something to praise, 'cause
and it's
like,
still a
whatever.
value. Diablo 2 still costs money.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Doesn't cost Blizzard a dime.
I don't
And-
personally think that it's something worth arguing about. It's free. Free is free,
And I'm happy.
and it's
Yeah.
a nice little thing.
Tom hates it and thinks you shouldn't be able to have it.
Right.
No, I don't
So-
think that at all. I just,
Tom,
I
no,
don't-
No,
wants to take
clearly
it
Tom
away
wants to
from
take
you.
Diablo away from you, so you never can play it again. He wants Blizzard to rip Diablo
No,
2
Yeah.
from its servers and remove
Though I
all
also
physical
don't-
copies in Walmarts everywhere.
I don't see a lot of people who have never played Diablo 2 like buying Diablo 3 and then jumping at the chance to play its predecessor. I mean, you might disagree. I don't think it's going to be that big.
What
Tom
if this
McShay
were
also-
GoldenEye? The new GoldenEye came packed in with the old GoldenEye.
Okay.
Would
Nothing?
would we still be having this conversation?
Probably. I don't
No,
know.
we
I
wouldn't.
think a 12-year-old game is just kind of it's okay.
All right. Anyway, so that happened.
What about Orange? Like, I don't know. Like, what Half-Life? Like
Orange Box, that's a perfect example. Orange Box was awesome.
Well, it's not really a perfect example.
Also wasn't 12 years old.
But
Yeah,
if
it
you
was-
like, I don't know, like,
Well,
what if
does it-
Half-Life 2 would have come with Half-Life 1? I think like that would have been awesome. Like, what if somebody didn't play Half-Life 1? Now's their chance to get caught up on the saga.
That would have been 11 years.
I
so
think
it
it's
would
cool.
It would have been very close comparison. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. So
Yeah.
but I don't know why we're having this argument. It's a
I don't
silly
know
one.
either. So the other cool stuff that happened at BlizzCon that we didn't really convey to you, I feel like we're covering BlizzCon wrong. I don't know. Like when we went to BlizzCon, it was like, okay, we're gonna go cover these panels. And when I was there, it's like, okay, these panels are fairly well populated. But then I would go over a hall and see everyone watching the competitive StarCraft 2 players. And it's just like they're flooding the place. It's like a disgusting amount of
amazing.
people in one room, all just like glued to these screens. I don't know, like and it was very odd to me because watching esports, especially something like StarCraft 2, is very demanding on its audience. Like there's a lot happening on the screen. They give you the camera angle that they present you is very up close and tight, so it's just like a lot of visual stimuli happening. Plus you've got like these shoutcasters coming at you with all this information. And on top of that, you know, the GSL final between what's his name? I am MVP and Sen, I think his name was. Sen was the winner. That was 7 games. Like they could have played for 7 games, 7 back-to-back StarCraft 2 games, which is crazy. I mean, I was there for probably 2.5 hours, and I only got through 4 games. To keep watching them playing was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But these people seem to have stamina for it. Which stamina.
Oh, there we go.
Stamina. I don't even know how to say it. Stamina. Thank you, God. But so that was cool. Also, the World of Warcraft tournaments, those were cool. People were equally turning out for that. And it's again another similar issue where there's just so much stimuli on the screen. I don't know how like that. I feel like that's the thing that's holding esports back at the moment. Getting a good camera angle on this action that's just happening, and so I don't know. They need to create some kind of new mode. Look at these guys. Look at them, completely checked out. They have no idea.
I like esports. I don't necessarily agree. I'm
really?
perfectly entertained with the way it looks. I mean, in the end, I'm kind of a fan of games where there's some kind of, I like when there's a spectator mode and somebody can pull out and move around freely, like in shooters and stuff like that, which
I do
can be
too.
really entertaining. But in this case, I don't know. Like, I think you need all that stimuli. I mean, these games are. StarCraft
Right.
2 is a brilliant game,
No, it's a good game.
and
That's true.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is in the in-game tools, they kind of just need to be. You need to give people a broader look. Pull out more. I know it's kind of confined to the engine as it is now, but I feel like if they could just pull out that camera more, it would be less like headache-inducing to watch on screen.
I get that.
So that was another big thing that happened. Foo Fighters played. I didn't actually see them because I was working, but I hear they were quite good. And also the costume contest hosted by Jay Moore, which I always find entertaining. I don't know about anybody else.
Do you find Jay Moore entertaining?
I like Jay Moore. I don't know why people are always down on Jay Moore, but they are.
He was good in that movie Go.
He was good in Dragon, the TV series. I think it's
Nobody knows what that is.
no. I don't know. He was funny, and the costumes were actually not bad. I also really enjoyed seeing the Minecraft dude eat shit in real time. He just kind of walked off. He was like dressed up as a Minecraft Templar from World of Warcraft in like the blocky Minecraft costume, and he just walked right off the stage. It was beautiful. I liked it a lot.
Wait, you're applauding somebody that
Yes.
got injured by walking off the
Dude.
stage?
Check it out. It's on YouTube, like in glorious detail from various camera angles.
Poor guy. I feel really bad for him.
No,
I haven't seen it.
it's true.
I know.
Once you see it, you'll appreciate the wonder and beauty that it is. So that was BlizzCon. We have full coverage on the website. You can go check it out, and I highly recommend that you do. We're going to move on. 10 years ago this week in reviews. You guys want to do a little bit of that?
Sure, it's
We're
fun.
very close
Alright.
to the GameCube Xbox launches, aren't we?
What's that? Oh, we are.
Very, very close.
Coming up on them. But that's not what came out this week.
No.
You guys can probably guess what. I'm not even going to pretend. 9.6, 10 years
Jeez.
ago this week.
GTA 3.
GTA 3. But I figured I wanted to read a disclaimer that we had in our review. It's kind of just fun reading these reviews to see what they got right and what they got wrong. So the 10 years ago in this, the review for that was, before we go any further, there's one thing everyone should know about Grand Theft Auto 3. Before purchasing it, it is easily the most quote-unquote mature M-rated game on the market today. More often than not, its storyline revolves around rather violent acts of crime. And if you stray from the storyline and just go on a crime spree of your own, the game will become an absolute bloodbath. On top of that, the game contains adult language and situations, including drugs, prostitution, and a heaping helping of sexual innuendo. If R-rated crime sagas such as Goodfellas or Heat are too much for you, then this isn't the game for you. The game and its dialogue have been written specifically for an adult audience, and it definitely isn't for kids. Jeff Gersman, everyone.
It was not made for an adult audience. Let's just clear that up.
No?
I mean, how old? 10 years ago, I was 20 years old, and there was a lot of people younger than me. I mean, it was made for 15, 16, 17-year-olds, and
That's
it did a
possible.
very good job at that.
Yeah. Well,
Adult audience. Catherine's made it for an adult audience.
That's true.
Yes.
I mean, it definitely didn't have the depth that perhaps a lot of adults like. It had kind of
No.
the
It was-
16 to 18-year-old boy depth.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the story. I loved it, got 100%. Don't remember the story. I remember killing
Yeah.
lots of.
I remember
dudes and
blowing
stuff.
up helicopters with freaking
Super
rocket
fun.
launcher. Yeah.
Not a mature game.
Not a mature game. That is true. But as far as content goes, I mean, it's kind of like a 12-year-old in a 30-year-old's body or something. I don't know. They would have liked that game. We're going to move on to comments, questions, corrections, and clarifications. Carlos, Puerto Rico, asks, "Hey guys, I've been playing a lot of Batman Arkham City and have been loving the game, although I find that I spend most of the time doing side missions like the Riddler challenges and AR missions. My question is, when playing an open world game like this, do you guys do all the story missions first and then do the side quests? Or do you like to do side quests first and focus on the story? Or do you guys just intermix some side quests and story missions?" I think it's kind of interesting for these sandbox games.
Side quest first.
All of the side, you just knock them out?
Well, it depends on the structure of the game. Obviously, not all of them are going to support that kind of thing. But like when I played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, one of the first things I wanted, like as soon as I could, I was doing everything that was on the map that was not story. I want to go around and like synchronize all the towers is one of the first things that I do, because that's one of my favorite things to do in Assassin's Creed is climb the towers, do the synchronization, because it always has that awesome music cue as the camera pans around and you see the view, and then you do the leap of faith off. It's one of my favorite things to do in Assassin's Creed, so it's one of the first things I do.
No, it's very true.
So I just go around and do a bunch of stuff, and then I move on to the story, and then something amazing happens, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm invested in this. Oh, now I'm gonna go do something else.
Or if you're playing Oblivion, you don't do any of the story because the story is featured. I played 100 hours and I didn't finish that game.
No, I'm the same way.
But the side quests are great.
Yeah, no, I played about, I was going to use this exact same example. I played about 55 to 60 hours of Oblivion. I got to like the third tower in the story missions. And
Whoa.
Or in the story.
I've never gotten to the third tower.
No?
No.
That was for
Second tower is as far as I got.
Yeah. Well, it was good. The towers were fine, but they did not hold a candle to the side missions. So I think it really depends on the game.
Yeah, generally I'm like Kevin, especially with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Okay, so Carlos, hopefully that answers somewhat of what you were asking.
Kind of a nosy question.
I know, right?
Seriously.
That guy is weird. Anyway, Bahamut, he even gave me a pronunciation grade. Bahamut S Dragons asks, "It seems like that for a lot of games, when screenshots come out and are later displayed on websites, it's hard to get a feel of how it plays. Marketing seems so intent in showing cool angles and cutscenes and whatnot that the actual gameplay is relegated to the side. In turn, it doesn't make me want to play the game. It feels shady and a bit lame. Am I in the minority here? Do you guys like screenshots? Do you feel like that's a good way to market these games?"
I think it's a great way to market these games.
Yeah.
But I think that they don't represent necessarily what you're getting.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why we call them bullshots.
That's why Penny Arcade termed the coin bullshots.
I don't know. I've just always used it because other people use it.
I'm just saying Penny Arcade gets credit for that because they're great.
Thanks, Tycho.
We gotta protect our sources here.
No, I honestly didn't know.
I'm not sure we can call them sources.
Not the right term at all. Sorry. Sorry for being dumb.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's a good example also of like Grand Theft Auto 4. I thought the trailers for that game were awesome, and then when I got into the actual game, it's like it's just like a movie preview too. Like you can't rely on that stuff. It's like, yeah, you see some of the cool stuff that happens, but whether that's representative of what the game will play like, probably not. But yeah, I find it lame. So you are not in the minority. Every single person in this room agrees with you. I think so. And probably the gaming press. Yeah, that does it for comment, questions, corrections, and clarifications. If you have one of the aforementioned, hotspot@gamespot.com is how you can contact us. Just give us an email. I will read it on the air. If it's good, maybe not. I don't know. See what happens. Or you can give us a call, 1-877-506-8324. Once again, that's 1-877-JOHN-TECH. That's John with a 0. As you will have noticed, I haven't actually been playing phone calls. We have that capability still. I just have no idea how to get it into the... I wish I could show you the setup that I have. It just doesn't make sense as far as getting that in. But I'm working on it, I promise. Pop quiz hotspot. You guys ready for this?
I'm never good at these.
No? You might get this one. Yukishimi is the question that I have selected this week. His question is, what inspired the name of Tim Schafer Studio? Double Fine. Tim Schafer, Double Fine, local San Francisco developer. They make Psychonauts, Sesame Street.
Thank you.
Trenched.
For that.
You know what I'm saying.
It's not called Trenched anymore.
Oh, it's not?
What's it called?
Oh, they
Iron
changed it.
Something?
In America, it's still Trench, isn't it?
Iron
is it?
Brigade? Or
Iron Brigade? Is that what it was?
I don't know. I can't remember exactly. Good game, as far as I know. Double Fine, where's it come from?
I always imagined it was from, they took the Surefine brand and then decided it was twice as good.
It's not it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yukishimi, you are a winner. The answer is Golden Gate Bridge. When Tim Schafer was driving around on that, there's a sign that says slow to 45, double fine zone ahead.
Oh, you know what? I've heard this somewhere. I think
Yeah?
I
think Tim actually tweeted something about like a link to that story not so long ago,
Right. So
and like a photo of that thing.
clearly your memory is bullshit. Clearly.
I'm also suffering from rheumatism. Do you know how old I am, Tom Magrino?
Rheumatism?
We don't even try to guess anymore.
Kevin Van Ord is 56 years old.
I am 63.
Look at how attractive he is for a 56-year-old man.
Do you know how bald I am?
Let's see
Look
it.
at how
Let's
bald
see
I
it.
am.
Oh my god.
I'm getting so bald.
It's in the Double
Take off my
Fine.
hat. I'm not afraid of my baldness.
It's in
Okay.
the Double Fine fact. That's where I
So
saw it. 'Cause I read that
Yukishimi,
fact.
in typical fashion, you are going to win. Well, I'll give you your choice. One of these guys, whichever you want. Battlefield 3, Uncharted 3.
take Uncharted. Do not just
They are
Did-
fine games.
No,
Both
take-
will be excellent choices.
please take
you
Uncharted.
might.
Please.
What is
Might be a
your
better
issue?
game.
I don't like military shooters. I
So-
don't want to get into this again.
If you are interested in winning and also I'll be sending you some useless crap I have lying around the office, of course. Signed by everyone in this room, as well as Sean McInnes, who bailed on us like a chump. I don't know where he is. But I'll be sending that out to you. If you are interested in getting some free swag from us, go ahead, write us in, give us some trivia. NES Era and Beyond, just to keep it so it's, I don't know. It's not like these guys are ever going to, never have you guys come through for me. Well, maybe once or twice. But write in, hotspot at GameSpot, give me your trivia. One tip, if it's an interesting bit of trivia, it's far more likely that I'm going to read it and you can win a free game and some useless junk I find lying around the office. So make it interesting. Also, in honor of my longtime hero, the Riddler, I'm expanding this segment to include game-related riddles. So if you can come up with one of those, that also works. And just to...
That's clever.
I'm getting stinky face from you.
I like riddles.
I
No,
like
not
riddles.
you. You were fine. I was getting stinky face from this guy.
What about that?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this
your
was
face does kind of smell.
yeah, a little bit. So just to tease next week's winner, I am going to give you my BlizzCon badge. That'll be the winner.
Wow.
As well
So this
as,
week's winner gets Uncharted?
as well as my entire BlizzCon swag bag, which includes this nice little mini Tyrell statue. You can sell
Okay,
it for
that's
like
actually not bad.
$300.
I'd rather have Uncharted 3.
Well, that's you. So that's give me some good trivia and maybe, you might want that. What else? We're still hiring. You want to work at GameSpot? You can work for Curtis Said, strategy guide editor. No, that's a thing that could happen for
That
somebody out
guy
there.
has a dungeon.
That guy, he will torture a puppy. If it's in front of him and you give him a knife, he will just cut and cut and cut.
Stop it. Please stop.
But you can work for him if you want. Strategy guide editors, go to
Puppies need not apply.
Puppies need not apply. CBS Careers website. You can find that posting there. What else? Check out Hotspot Live on Friday. That's happening. We'll have some good segments for you. Battlefield 3 related. So if you're looking for that, that's going to happen. I think that does it for this week. Tom McShay, thank you for showing up.
Yeah, I
Unlike Sean McInnes.
totally showed up.
Yeah, you did. And talking about Uncharted 3. Kevin Van Ord.
I'm not aging gracefully.
Brendan Sinclair. No problem, guys. All right, that does it for me, Tom Magrino. Stay tuned. They haven't canceled us yet. It's good. I don't know. I'm happy about that. Thanks for tuning in. GameSpot. Shit, I messed it up. Hotspot out!